Welcome back to the History Club podcast.
Woo! We are back for episode 15.
That's
15.
a good amount.
That's a lot of episodes with special guest Peter.
Peter.
Woo!
Hello. This is fantastic being here.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the podcast,
Thank
Peter.
you. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, our pleasure.
Of course.
This is your first time on a podcast?
Yes, this is my first time on a podcast.
Are the emotions running high?
Yes, yeah. I don't quite know what I'm doing with myself, but that's
Yeah.
okay. That's what
all right.
podcasts are for.
That's all right. You'll find out.
Future podcasts, I can say where they say where you get your start. I say the History Club podcast.
Yeah.
It's true.
So,
It's true.
no
How
better
you-
place to start.
How you doing today?
Today I am styling and profiling. I got alligator
Oh,
on
yeah.
my feet. I got mink on my shoulders. My mind's so sharp it's like a boulder. And that's the
Mhm.
bottom line.
And that's the bottom line.
That's beautiful.
So, Peter, you are a criminal justice major.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I wanted to hear what it's like being a criminal justice major.
Well, it's fun. So with criminal justice, it's what I thought it was is not what it actually is. So when I was coming to college, I thought it was just you learn about like laws and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's like 2 classes, maybe 3. And I think 2 of them are electives, so it's
No.
really only 1.
Mm.
A lot of it
That's rough.
is teaching you how to do criminal justice research, which
Ah.
no hate on criminal justice researchers, it's very important, but I don't particularly find anything interesting about that.
Yeah.
So what I liked about criminal justice was learning about like the history of policing, laws and stuff like that, which there are a lot of classes that
Yeah.
teach that. One of my favorite CJ classes was called Violence in America.
Mm.
And one of the lessons we had one time was to review different movie scenes and video game scenes for their violence.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the one I remember most distinctively was the No Russian mission from Call of Duty.
Mm.
Now, I never thought I'd be sitting at a collegiate institution watching the No Russian mission. That's something I did at home when I was about 8 years old. So it's definitely an experience. It's a good experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been my time as a criminal justice major.
That's good. Do you think violent video games are a cause for concern in America?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it kind of depends on who the person playing it is.
Okay.
Like if you're predisposed to violence, it certainly can kind of desensitize you to some stuff. I think the more you watch like violent videos, violent movies, TV shows, stuff like that, you get desensitized naturally just because it's something you've been exposed to.
Yeah.
Which, has its benefits and has its drawbacks. You're
Yeah.
not scared to see some stuff that otherwise you might be, but that's also not always a good thing. But I think in short, for most people, I don't think it's a problem playing violent video games as long as you recognize that it's a video game. Don't go out and do that.
A line must be drawn.
Exactly. And that's where Fortnite came from.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yep. And I heard that you previously took a class called crime mapping.
I did. I took a class called crime mapping. And that's another class that I had no real idea what it was before I took it. I thought it was just looking at like maps and determining like, oh, where's crime?
Yeah.
Seems simple enough.
Yeah.
Which that was part of it, but most of it was taking data and making maps.
Ah.
I very, I guess, comically referred to crime mapping as crime trapping.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the crimes that we were mapping were trapping crimes,
Mm-hmm.
thus crime trapping. But it was an interesting class. I don't know if non-CJ majors can take it, but it certainly is a interesting class for anybody who wants to learn about how crime gets mapped and and figure out where crime hotspots are.
Yeah.
Important topic.
Yeah.
Do you have a least favorite CJ class that you've taken of all time?
I do.
Mm.
I have a least favorite CJ class, and this is kind of a shocking one because I thought it would be my most favorite when I took it. It is a class called terrorism.
Oh.
Strictly just terrorism.
Yes.
Now, this class, I enjoyed the content of it. Please do not take that the wrong way.
Mm.
I do not condone
Please.
terrorism.
Yeah.
Not great.
Mm-mm.
However, the class was interesting. I thought we would be learning about like what makes a terrorist, different terrorist groups, the history of terrorism, and we learned about that. But the problem is there was no homework.
Ooh.
We were only graded on 3 exams.
Oh.
We had to take them in class.
Mm-hmm.
They were writing exams, so you had to physically write in a blue notebook your answers. And you had an hour to do it.
Yeah.
And it was essay format, 6 to 8 questions.
Ooh.
The first test, I did not finish all the questions.
Oh no.
And the professor was like, "Why didn't you finish all the questions?" Because I don't have 8 questions worth of time
Yeah.
to do. And the professor taught from his own textbook,
Oh.
Oh.
which I thought that was cool at first.
Yeah.
I very quickly realized that that's not cool.
Yeah.
I asked him to autograph my textbook because I spent $50 on it. He said no.
Wow.
He said
Really?
no, yeah.
Why not?
He said it was inappropriate.
Wow.
How?
Yes. So I gave his book to a Goodwill.
Now that's appropriate.
Yeah.
That's appropriate.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite history class that you've taken so far? Because this is the History Club podcast.
That it is. I checked the invitation. This is the History Club podcast. I triple checked. My favorite history class that I've taken so far is Native American history.
Ooh, great pick.
That's
Great
a very
pick.
good pick.
I think that's a very common pick, but there's a reason for that.
Mm.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like saying, well, who's the greatest baseball player? And you say, oh, it's Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's going to be
not an uncommon pick.
sore subject.
It is a sore subject.
Oh.
I stand by what I said. But the class was very interesting. I learned a lot more than I thought I would. And the professor who teaches it is probably one of the GOATs.
Mhm.
If he's
Have to
the
agree.
GOAT. He is the GOAT.
Yep.
That's
Mm-hmm.
He's the John Cena of the history department, certainly of Native American history.
Oh yeah.
Never seen 17, but
Mhm.
you will see me taking another class of his for
Oh,
sure.
Mm,
For sure.
that's awesome. You're a history double major?
I
Yes.
am.
Okay.
Mhm.
What's it like being a double major? Is it miserable?
It's actually not,
Okay,
but
that's
I
good.
attribute that to the fact that I decided to take on history as a major towards the end of my junior year.
Mm.
So my CJ professor, who at the time was my advisor, she was not happy with me.
Oh,
She was
wow.
like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm sure." And she said, "Okay, well, you're going to be here for a while. Just come find me when you're ready to graduate, and we'll get that train moving." And that was really interesting, trying to go through the whole process of becoming a double major.
Mm.
It's a lot easier than I thought it would be. And the good part is a lot of my credits carry over between the two.
Oh.
So I'm not here longer than I expected I would be by too much. But yeah, overall, it's been a good experience.
What are you planning to do with this degree once you get out of school?
Well, I'm not too sure. That's a good question. I've been asked that a lot recently since I'm like almost ready to graduate.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't really know what I want to do afterwards. I thought about becoming a cop when I first came into college,
Mhm.
but that not so much anymore. I think I'm leaning toward the direction of like education, like history
Mhm.
education.
There you go.
What do you think the most important lesson for students to be taught today is?
I think the most important lesson that students need to be taught today is that what I come across a lot when I tell people I study history as a major, they say, "Oh, history is my least favorite class."
Hmm.
So I think the disconnect is that people don't feel like they can connect with history.
Mm.
And I feel like the best way to do that is find something you're interested in. Say you're interested in lacrosse, for example.
Hmm.
Find out the history of lacrosse. Tie it to something you're interested in.
Hmm.
And I think that goes for any subject. If you want to learn something, but it's not your strong suit, or you just don't like it, tie it into something you do like. And you'll find that learning about it is a lot more enjoyable and it's a lot more easier. And it's easy to retain, too.
That's very wise.
Yeah, very profound.
wise.
Anyways, Peter, You work in a hospital as well.
I do.
What is that experience like for you?
That has probably been one of the best and worst experiences of my life. It's a very hard thing to describe, but what I do at the hospital is I'm a security guard, basically. And you kind of meet people from all walks of life, both on the upper echelon of life, and people just really not on the upper echelon of life. And it teaches you a lot about people, which I think that's the draw for me. That's what keeps me there.
Yeah. Do you have any like fun stories from the hospital that you'd be willing to share on the podcast?
Yeah, I do have a couple fun stories I could share. Let me try and think.
Yeah, take your time.
So this was my first day on the job, I guess you could say. It was a Saturday. I was told by my boss, just kind of lurk around, don't worry about doing much. And we got a call for a patient who was agitated, kind of standard run-of-the-mill, just go up there and talk to him. We get up there, and he's talking nonsense. He's asking me, like, if I'm the Messiah.
Are you?
I checked my LinkedIn, and I've never put the Messiah down as a career history blurb.
Yeah.
I would endorse it if you did.
But thank you. I'm glad I can radiate Messiah energy. That makes my day. But this guy, he was just talking nonsense, and we're talking to him, and he's wearing cargo pants. So I'm like, why is this guy wearing cargo pants if he's a patient? Well, he was just brought in a couple hours before. And for one reason or another, he couldn't leave on his own. I don't remember why. And he keeps kind of pacing back and forth. And I ask him, what's going on, man? You nervous or something? Like, why are you pacing? He was like, no, I'm not nervous. And I go, okay, well, that's good. Is there anything I can help you with? Because I heard you were getting a little agitated. And he's like, yeah, I don't like my nurse. And I'm like, okay, I can work with that. I'm like, why not? And he basically like cusses out his nurse for about 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
Uninterrupted. I couldn't get a word in.
Oh boy.
So then I start seeing him fiddling with his back pocket.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, okay, well, that's a little concerning. I was like, hey, man, you mind just not reaching into your back pocket for me? And he's like, why? Do you think I have a knife or something? Well, now I do, because that's very specific. Why would I think you have a knife? And to cut a long story short, we eventually had to go hands-on with him. So
man.
I grabbed his arm, his right arm. Somebody else grabbed his left arm. Another person wrapped up his legs. And when we went in to go hands-on, right before we grabbed him, he reached in his back pocket and he pulled out the knife.
Oh.
But I saw it, so I grabbed his wrist and kind of jammed his hand back a little bit so he would let go. Thankfully he did. Nobody got stabbed.
Yeah.
But that was my first day working there. And I was like, this better not be how every call goes, or back to jobs.com I go.
You stuck it out.
Yeah. I did.
That's good.
Thank you.
Glad to see you're still with us.
I'm still here. For better or for worse, I am still here. I'm still kicking.
What's it like working on holidays at the hospital?
Well, some holidays are better than others. So I've worked Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day. I can tell you right off the bat, New Year's Day is the worst. Because you get people who have been up all night just knocking them back, taking pills that probably weren't prescribed to them by a licensed practitioner. So you get a lot of those people. And it's a holiday, but it's not really one of those holidays that people don't work on. So you have a lot of just other people who are just there for regular injuries or illnesses.
Yeah.
And I was in the emergency department, and we had 12 patient watches, which means there are 12 patients who need to be watched because they're a danger to themselves or others. Some hospitals, that's not a big number. For my hospital, the average number of watches a day is 3.
Mm.
And because it was a holiday, we had like 4 people on.
Yeah.
4 people on.
4.
And 2 of us had to be in the emergency department because there were so many people. But we made it through. However, I do not ever want to have to do that again.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
awful.
Understandably.
The best holiday, though, is Christmas. So I worked last Christmas.
Yeah.
Again, there were fewer people, but there's also no watches.
Mm.
Ooh.
So I watched the movie Carry On
Ooh.
with my
Wow.
friend Danny, and we ate meatballs that some nurse made.
Aw.
We went
That's
back
nice.
probably 4 times to the emergency department break room, which technically I'm not allowed in because I don't work for the emergency department.
Hmm.
But I took their food anyway because who are they going to call? Security?
Yeah.
So I took their food. We watched Carry On.
Yeah.
I got paid time and a half for that. That was
That's
pretty
pretty good.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get a review for Carry On, the movie?
Carry On the movie, it's it's not bad. It's one of those movies that you kind of have to sit with for a bit, but once you get into it, it's not bad. I think it tried a little too hard to be like Shutter Island, but
Mm. Is it
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt as the main guy?
he might be.
I think so. I
He
don't
might
know.
be. He might be.
Maybe.
Maybe. Search it up.
We'll
Find
get,
out for yourself.
You guys should get him on the podcast.
Joe Biden?
Yeah.
We'll
Joe
ask. We'll send out a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he has much going on anymore.
No, I don't
No,
think so.
no.
We'll send some fan mail.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Dark Knight money dried up.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could pay him like $10.
Yeah.
I think he'd settle for 5.
Yeah, maybe we'll aim
350.
low on that.
350 and nothing.
Do you always work in the same department at the hospital, or does it change?
So what I do is I do my shift in segments. So I do usually about 2.5 hours in the emergency department,
Okay.
and then for the rest of the day I'll be patrolling the rest of the hospital.
Hmm.
So that means any calls that are not in the emergency department, I'll go to.
Mm.
Most of them are just door unlocks or somebody lost their keys. Occasionally we get people who lose their cars.
Mm.
Mm.
Not sure how somebody can do that, but it
Yes.
happens.
Yeah.
That's not to say that if there's a call in the emergency department, I won't go. It's
Yeah.
more so just that's not where I'm stationed at the moment.
Yeah.
Another thing we do is we do body removals from rooms where people have passed.
Mm.
That's something that a lot of people kind of struggle with at first, but
Mm.
that's a good way to kind of teach you about
Yeah.
not everything's so serious.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah. Do you have a least favorite and favorite department in the hospital?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. My least favorite department in the hospital, I would say, is one of the inpatient units we have. They are very, what I call trigger happy with the panic button.
Oh.
Mm.
So panic buttons are kind of exactly how they sound.
Yeah.
If you can't call us directly or something is very urgent, like somebody's fighting
Mm.
or somebody's about to get hurt, you press the panic button.
Mm.
This unit consistently presses the panic button because they don't want to talk to a patient. One time they pressed the panic button because the patient wanted to speak to somebody about her diet.
Mm.
I'm not qualified
That's
to tell
interesting
somebody
one.
about their diet.
No.
Yeah.
The nurse is.
Yeah.
And the nurse called me to do that.
Did you give any advice?
I did. I said, she's like, why can't I eat anything?
Yeah.
And I said, okay, let me think for a minute. Have you had any surgeries recently? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, boom, there you go. Probably something to do with that.
Yeah.
Could be.
And she's like, can you get more specific? And I said, no, ma'am. But that unit, it's usually the same cast of characters pressing the panic button.
Yeah.
Yeah. The usual suspects.
Yes, yeah. As for my favorite unit, that's tough. But I would say, I don't think everybody I work with would agree with me, but I'd say the emergency department is probably
Okay.
Mm.
my favorite unit because those people, you interact with a lot of the same nurses over and over and over again.
Mm.
Whereas on the inpatient floors, it can vary. You might not
Yeah.
see the same nurse for a while.
Mhm.
And besides patrolling those units, you're not really like stationed up there ever.
Yeah.
So you don't really get to build lasting like friendships with people.
Yeah.
But the emergency department, I definitely have made some friends there.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
also just like when they call us, it's usually not for anything like grossly like stupid,
Mhm.
I guess to say. There's usually a good reason why they're calling us. There are people here and there who kind of push people's buttons and then call us to play cleanup crew.
Mm.
Yeah.
But overall, most of them are pretty good. And as far as like the medical side goes, they really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Better than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than me, which is not saying a whole lot.
Is it one of your, if you had to rank the hospitals that you've been to, is it your top?
No.
No.
No. That's not to say it's a bad hospital,
Yeah.
but it's definitely lacking in some aspects.
Yeah.
I'd say probably the best hospital I've been to is Mass General.
Mm.
Just, I
Okay.
mean, that's kind of a
Classic.
world-renowned hospital, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of a safe choice.
Do you have a favorite hospital?
One closest to me. I was born in Lowell General, so
Wow. Okay. Okay. And you survived.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
Somehow.
Somehow. Yeah. That's beautiful.
What's your favorite hospital?
I have a difficult relationship with Mount Auburn. We definitely go back and forth. That's my hospital. But I mean, Boston Children's. I trick or treated in Boston Children's one year. Great
You
experience.
know what? I think Boston Children's is probably mine. You know,
Yeah.
Ah.
if we're including children's hospitals, Boston
Yeah.
Children's is
Yeah,
that's a goat.
it's a great
It is,
hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never been there.
That's
Not a
probably
bad
for the
thing.
best.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did have great trick or treating. 2 Halloweens.
They used to have a Papa
Wow.
Gino's there too.
Really?
I didn't know
I
that.
believe so. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was them.
Yeah. Well, soon you'll go to the Longwood Medical Center too,
Mhm.
or nearby.
Yeah.
Nearby.
Uh huh.
This
Looking
video will
forward
be
to it.
published after that, or
Yeah.
Forrest won't be there.
Yeah.
Won't be stalking.
So, Peter, I wanted to ask you about your interest specifically in the 1950s and Elvis.
Sure.
What's so captivating about Elvis to you?
Well, that's a good question. There's a lot. So I first kind of came into contact with Elvis through my grandmother. Now she wasn't a fan, but her and Elvis share the exact same birthday, which is
Oh.
January 8th, 1935.
Look at
I
that.
didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And I remember watching Lilo and Stitch when I was a kid, and Elvis is a pretty significant part of that movie. And I think it was in middle school when I really kind of started just looking into like older music.
Yeah.
And I mean, the number one guy for older music is probably
course.
Elvis.
Mm.
And I don't know what it was. This is kind of a story that you've probably heard, but not from somebody my age.
Yeah.
I watched his performance of Hound Dog on the
Oh.
Milton Berle show,
That's a
and
good one.
I was just captivated by it.
Mm.
You know, I was just like, "There's something with this guy."
Yeah.
Mm.
And pretty soon thereafter, like, I started doing my hair like Elvis.
Mm.
I started
Oh.
trying to dress like Elvis.
There you go.
He became kind of this like icon to me,
Mm.
and I started like kind of soaking up any and all information I could find about Elvis.
Yeah.
And you know, I found a lot of like similarities. Like when he was in high school, he was a very shy person and he didn't really talk to people a lot, which that's something that I've definitely struggled with in my life. I'm a very shy person,
Yeah.
kind of just naturally. And I was like, wow, this guy became like a global icon. And at heart, he's still like this just shy guy from, I would say from Memphis, but he's actually from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Oh,
There
I
you
didn't
go.
know that either.
Yeah.
He's dropping knowledge.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to his house in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What was
It's,
that like?
It was interesting. We went there. It was about 1,000,000 degrees,
Mm.
and there's a long highway between Memphis and Tupelo,
Mm.
and there is nothing on that highway, not a thing, and it's like 75 miles, I think.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, So we got to Tupelo and we finished the tour of his house.
Yeah.
And we went home and it started pouring. And I was in this big tour bus, almost like a Greyhound bus. And the driver was not slowing down. It was a 65 mile an hour highway. He was going 85.
Oh boy.
And there was like flooding. We were skidding a little bit, but they put on his Aloha from Hawaii concert on DVD.
There you go.
And I locked in and we made it back. So that
Put you at ease.
put me at ease. That was, I like that.
That's good.
That's great. Do you have a favorite Elvis song?
It changes from, I'd say, week to week, but really hour to hour. I say my favorite song from the 50s is Heartbreak Hotel, because that's really his first big national hit.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know it. It sounds like it's a love ballad, but it's actually a song about a guy killing himself at a hotel. It's based off a true story. This guy, long story short, ended his own life in a hotel in, I think, Texas, like 2 or 3 months before the song was written. And so the song's kind of written about that, which you don't really expect a kind of a deep song message from a song in the 50s, let alone like an Elvis kind of rock and roll song. And then transitioning to the 60s, I think my favorite song from the 60s is probably It's Now or Never, which is the exact same melody as this Italian song O Sole Mio. When he was in Germany in the army, he picked up a lot of Italian opera.
Oh, didn't know that.
I didn't know he was in the army.
He was. So he was drafted 3 times. The first 2 times he got a deferment, and the third time he got a short-term deferment to finish the movie King Creole, which has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way.
Ooh.
It's a good one.
That's a good score.
And he was in Germany for 2 years. He was in an armored division, and that's where he met his eventual wife, Priscilla.
Yes.
Who at the time when they met, she was 14 and he was 24.
Okay.
So, not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
No.
But he was always a fan of this one singer, Mario Alonso, who was a American Italian opera singer. But he kind of expanded his knowledge while he was in Germany. And he came back and he did a lot of like operatic ballads and stuff. And I think It's Now or Never is the best. And finally, for the 70s, I think his best song is American Trilogy.
Okay.
I would kind of challenge anybody to listen to that song and not get some kind of like goosebumps towards the end of it.
I'd have to listen after this one.
You just might. You just might.
Yeah. Listen and comment below if you got goosebumps, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, you're lying. So
Yeah. Don't
comment.
Don't
Don't comment.
Yeah. Wanted to ask you about your take on Elvis movies, so like the one with Austin Butler and the recent Priscilla movie.
That's a really good question. So I'll start with the Priscilla movie. I think part of the appeal of the Priscilla movie is that it's kind of like the Elvis movie, but from the opposite lens. So it's based off a book called Elvis and Me, which she wrote, I think, in the 80s, so a little bit after he passed away. And there's a lot in that book that she herself has retracted and said, like, oh, I meant this, not this. Or this didn't happen that way.
Interesting.
So there's already, like, kind of some problems there. I'm not bashing the book. It's an all right book. But if you've ever read kind of a tabloid book from, like, the 80s or 90s, they all kind of flow the same.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't really kind of differ itself from that. But that's part of the appeal. And so the movie was based off of that. And a lot of the interactions, people say like, oh, that's not true, that didn't happen. I'm a believer of I wasn't there. I wasn't even alive. I'm not going to say that was true or not true.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say like she said that it wasn't like that, or she did say it was like that. But the Priscilla movie, I think, definitely is the weaker of the two. I feel like it was kind of riding the coattails of the Elvis movie because it was announced like shortly after the Elvis movie left theaters. But it's an all right movie. I've seen it. The rewatch value is like there. But for me, of course, I'm kind of biased towards the Elvis movie.
Oh yeah.
I went to see that the day it came out, and then I saw Big Time Rush the next day. I remember that very clearly. That's kind of a
pretty good combo right
yeah.
there.
That's a real yin and yang.
We'll have to ask about that.
So I went, and it was just like the most captivating thing I've ever seen. Like, I was just lost in it.
Oh yeah.
And they're actually making, Baz Luhrmann's making another Elvis-esque movie.
Oh.
Really?
He found a bunch of footage that was lost from some of Elvis's actual movies.
Oh.
And he's making a kind of a concert documentary about it.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
Coming out in January, I think.
Nice.
But anyway, I think the Elvis movie, I really liked it, not just because of the content of it, but because it introduced a whole new generation to Elvis and Elvis's story. And, you know, I don't fault people for not liking Elvis or being critical of Elvis. That's, I think, what makes him great is that you can be both a huge fan and very critical of him.
Yeah.
But his name kind of lives on through that. And I'm just happy to see a lot of people, especially people my age, being engaged with somebody who I would say is like one of my heroes. I think that's very special.
Yeah, awesome. We took the Age of Nixon class together, and one of the movie options for that class was Elvis and Nixon.
And Nixon.
Did you watch that?
I did. So I saw that movie when it came out on Amazon Prime.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And I went into it, I was like, Michael Shannon as Elvis, that's kind of odd. But
Strange casting.
He nailed it. He nailed
Oh.
it. He got his voice inflections down. Like, it was really, he doesn't look like him, but he really got the nuances of Elvis down.
That's interesting.
And a lot of people will watch that movie and be like, there's no way this stuff happened. It did happen, and more happened. I'd say, I think Kevin Spacey was Richard Nixon.
Ooh.
I think so, yeah.
You
That
know.
might be true, yeah.
The movie came out in 2016, and I think it's been all downhill for Kevin Spacey from there.
A little bit.
But he did a good job with Nixon. Of course, I was more focused on Elvis.
Yeah.
The other two guys who played Elvis's bodyguards, a guy named Jerry Schilling and another guy named Sonny West, those were his bodyguards. Those actors did a pretty good job. One thing that wasn't in the movie that actually did happen, and I think should have been in the movie, was right around Christmas time, Elvis went to a donut shop that was in like the worst part of Washington, D.C. Like, just crime-ridden, out of control. It was like midnight. He walked into this donut shop dressed in his full regalia, and he said, "Hey man, let me get 2 Boston creams and a couple of them crullers over there." And somebody was like, "Hey, you're Elvis Presley." And he's like, "Yeah." And the guy's like, "Wow, you got a lot of nice jewelry on." You kind of see where this is headed.
Yeah.
And Elvis goes, "Yeah, and I'd like to keep it too." And he pulls out this 44 Magnum.
Oh
Oh
shoot.
my god.
And he's like, "Any more questions about my jewelry?" And the guy goes, "No." And Elvis just kind of puts the gun back and starts cackling. And he gets into a cab or a limousine or something and then just drives away.
Wow.
I don't think it does anything to serve the story of Elvis and Nixon.
No.
But if you're not interested in Elvis or Nixon, but you have to watch the movie, I think that's enough to keep you engaged.
Yeah.
That's pretty baller right there.
Yes, and that's not even the wildest Elvis story, I think. I don't even think that cracks the top 10. So, look
That's
up
wild.
crazy Elvis stories and you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
What is your number one craziest Elvis story?
Well, this actually kind of ties into Elvis and Nixon. So when Elvis met Nixon, he got a badge for the Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs.
I think I remember this.
Now the
Yeah.
DEA. And he was a special agent at large, which is a title that does not exist in the formerly Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs or modern DEA. But Elvis had that badge, and he carried it around in his wallet. And a couple years later, I think in 1972, there was this guy that Elvis had working for him called Hamburger James. Now,
Already a
Hamburger
great name.
James's only job was when Elvis woke up and said, "I want a hamburger," Hamburger James would go down to downtown Memphis and get him a hamburger. So one day, Hamburger James, I don't know why, I think he might have lapsed on his mortgage payment or something, stole a bunch of Elvis's jewelry, which, as you know from the last story, not a good idea.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So he took Elvis's jewelry, about $10,000 worth. He went to the airport. I think this might have been in Las Vegas. And he's on the plane, about ready to take off, go back to wherever. But then you hear this guy shouting, "Stop the plane, stop the plane." It's Elvis flashing his DEA badge, saying, "I'm a federal agent and I'm ordering you to stop this plane."
That's great.
Which, like, even a federal agent couldn't really do.
Yeah.
But the plane stopped.
Wow.
He boarded the plane. He found Hamburger James. He slapped Hamburger James. And he said, "If you needed money, why didn't you just ask me?" He gave Hamburger James money, and then he fired him. But I think the fact that a musician stopped a plane by using a kind of a, I don't want to say fake, but not real federal badge is incredible. I couldn't imagine. That would be the equivalent of Taylor Swift stopping a plane with a Party City badge.
Which could happen.
It could happen.
Never know.
It could happen.
You never know.
A lot of glitches in the Matrix would have to happen.
Yeah, a lot of them.
That's true.
That's crazy. What stock do you put into the Elvis conspiracy theories that are online?
Well, there's this one conspiracy theory. I'm going to put this out there. I've wanted to put this out there for a while. There's this pastor named Bob Joyce. He's somewhere in the South. I think he might be in Mississippi. He kind of looks like Elvis. He kind of sounds like Elvis. He kind of sings like Elvis. And people say, "Oh, that's Elvis. That's Elvis." And he's claimed that he's kind of Elvis adjacent. He will never say that he is Elvis because it's very easily disprovable. But people say, "Oh, well, he sings and sounds like him." What I think happened is somebody told him once, or a couple people told him, "You sing or sound like Elvis." And he's a pastor. He's got to make money to keep his congregation going. So he said, "Hey, how do I make money and get attention to my church?" Play into it.
There you go.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. That's a good thing. You know? But I think it's gotten to a point now where he should probably say, "Hey, I'm not Elvis." And, you know, we just be done with it. Because I don't think any less people would, like, go to his church or listen to him sing or speak. I just think it's kind of a... I hate seeing an Elvis video on TikTok and all the comments are, "He's Bob Joyce, he's Bob Joyce." Because you got to think about it, too. If Elvis faked his death, why would he move one state down, do exactly what he was doing before, but he's just a pastor now? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Maybe you found God. I don't know.
Maybe.
So what we like to do here on the podcast is we like to have the previous guest ask a question for the next guest.
Sure.
And this week's question is a very good one. Which one do you prefer? The Four Noble Truths or the Five Pillars of Islam?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I mean, my bias towards four is leading me to the Four Noble Truths. However, I specifically remember learning about the Pillars of Islam multiple times in high school. Different classes. 2 out of 4 of them were not even history classes or theology classes. One was a math class. So, you know, I'll have to go the 5 Pillars of Islam. You know?
Why did the math class have to do with the 5 pillars?
You know, I think we were learning about, like, geometry or something. And she quite literally drew 5 pillars and somehow tied it back to the 5 Pillars of Islam. I think, you know what I think it was? I think because the word algebra is an Arabic word.
Oh, okay.
So I think that we kind of all tied it together,
There you go.
which, saying it out loud now, I guess that makes sense. But the 5 Pillars of Islam, they're arguably the top 5 best pillars of all time. I don't think any other pillars could hold a candle.
I agree with that.
And what's the question that you have for the next guest?
Well, my question is a lot less, I I guess, intellectual. My question to the next guest is, do you think Kevin Gates started a car battery with his bare hands? Yes or no? And if it's no, please explain why.
That's a great
It's
question.
a wonderful question.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to ask that to next week's guest. Yeah. Oh, Lord.
I do. I personally do.
You think? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Owen?
I think so too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, you're not supposed to ask me about this.
Oh, okay.
It's just-
We got a time limit on
he
this.
hates talking about that.
Oh, okay.
He regrets even speaking about it.
He does.
He's gone on the record to say that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and so now it is time for our rapid
Rapid
fire
fire
question
questions.
segment. You got. Oh, Lord. Can we start that again?
Yeah.
Okay, now it is time for rapid fire questions. You know how this goes. We will each ask 3 questions to Peter.
Mhm.
You can answer as long or as short as you'd like.
Perfect.
Owen, start us off.
I always love to start off by asking, what is your favorite book that you have read in the past year?
Well, we're gonna have to go a little bit more than the past year. To
That's
answer that
perfectly
question.
fine.
My favorite book that I have read in the last 15 years. No, my favorite book that I've read in the last year is it's a book called Parachute Infantry,
Ooh.
and it's by a guy who was in the the series Band of Brothers.
Mhm.
He was in the Parachute Infantry Regiment. His name's Webster. He wrote an account of his experience in World War II, and he's like an actual like a writer. He was a journalist after the war, so his writing is very different from like other memoirs. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that it was more like kind of structural. Not to say other ones aren't, but it kind of followed a traditional like rise and fall. Yeah, I'd say that that's probably my most favorite book that I've read in the last
Sounds interesting.
20 years.
Might have to check it out.
You just might.
What is your favorite Big Time Rush song?
This is a question I've had to answer on a lot of different occasions. I'd have to say Boyfriend.
Staple.
That's a good one.
I saw their first show when they came back after like 10 years or something. And I was on a balcony. And I swear to God, when they started singing Boyfriend, I thought I was going to have to call the fire department because the balcony was going to collapse.
Wow.
People were jumping. There was like a fist fight or something. I don't know. People were
That's
just
nuts.
people were going crazy for Boyfriend.
Yeah.
And Worldwide has good energy.
Mm.
The theme song has good energy. But Boyfriend, I don't know, that gets people acting a fool.
Yeah.
I'm people.
Would you mosh to?
I just might. I just might.
So, for my next question, you're a big WWE fan.
Yes.
What I want from you is your Mount Rushmore of WWE superstars. I need your 4 favorite superstars.
My 4 favorite superstars. Number 1 has to be John Cena. He's my GOAT. I think I wanted to be John Cena when I was a kid. I distinctly remember before anybody else, before Barack Obama said anything, before the news said anything, I found out that Osama bin Laden was killed
From John
following
Cena.
Extreme Rules 2011. As a kid, I thought John Cena did it. I thought he defeated The Miz for the championship, went to Abbottabad, took care of business, 5-knuckle shuffle, boom, it's done.
Caught and compromised to a permanent end.
Exactly. I'm still not convinced he didn't do it. I've seen the movie The Marine. He's more than capable. Number 2 would have to be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What?
What? You want Stone Cold to come to your Mount Rushmore?
What?
Carve it out of stone?
What?
Whoop some ass?
What?
Drink some Steve Weisers?
What?
Call it a day?
What?
Go on the podcast?
What?
And that's the bottom line.
'Cause
Why? Because Stone Cold said
so.
I'd say number 3 is The Undertaker. My brother used to dress up as The Undertaker when we would wrestle as kids. By kids, I mean yesterday. And he was always a favorite of mine. And number 4, this is kind of controversial, but in my opinion, I feel like you can't really have him not on the Mount Rushmore as Hulk Hogan because the other three superstars probably wouldn't have had a career if Hulk Hogan wasn't as big as he was.
Yeah.
Even though Rocky Balboa beat Thunder Lips in Rocky 3, you know.
He did.
But he also beat Ivan Drago, so, you know. He's just, hey, yo.
Good picks. Good picks.
Thank you.
What is your favorite area of history to learn about?
My favorite area of history to learn about, I would say there are two. The first one is the American Revolution.
Ooh.
I think that's what really got me into history. And the second one would probably be like World War II and like the Korean War. I'm very interested in that stuff, which a lot of people who are interested in World War II, probably for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, they have a bit of a stigma.
Yeah. When I was in high school, I took German, and a lot of the people who took that class should not have taken that class. They were there for all the wrong reasons. And so I always like kind of try and distance myself from saying World War II, but I'm just lying to myself and others.
Yeah.
I just categorize those people as other because they're other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about a little department secret.
Uh-oh.
Big Quilt. What's the deal?
Ooh.
You know, I came on this podcast thinking that Big Quilt wouldn't be brought up, but here we are. Big Quilt, I think, is running this propaganda campaign.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they say in the wintertime, oh, don't use heat, don't use extra heat because it's ruining the environment. Use a quilt. Who's using quilts?
Who is using
This is
quilts?
2025. This isn't 1630. Why are we using quilts?
Yeah.
Go to the store and get a blanket or turn up your heat.
Yeah.
I think Big Quilt wants you to buy into the fact, like, oh, you need a quilt. You need a quilt to stay warm. And you buy one quilt, they got you.
Yeah.
'Cause who owns just one quilt? All you viewers out there who own a quilt, do you own just one? I doubt it.
Comment below.
I doubt it. And if you do, just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait. You'll get another one. Especially when they put little designs on them, like you get a Snoopy quilt. You go, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, cute. Sure. But yeah, I think they're just a big propaganda machine. They want you to buy into their nonsense. Yeah.
And they're already taking over toilet paper too.
They are, yeah.
Quilted Northern.
Exactly.
Look out. You gotta look out.
I mean, have you noticed that the Charmin bears are appearing less and less? There's a hit out for them. You know, people don't want to talk about this, but you have to. You have to let this air out, you know? So those are my thoughts.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to put this out there. I am totally mentally sound. I have no desire to stop existing. So if you never hear from me again, Big Quilt got to me.
Yeah.
Big Quilt got to me.
After this podcast, we're putting him in witness protection.
Yes.
Yes.
I will never be on this podcast again.
Yes. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
Rewatch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry to do that to you.
No, I think my time's already come for Big Quilt. I'm already at the top of their list.
I'm sure if you wanted to, you can come back. Well,
We'll
just watch out for
Yeah.
Big Quilt.
Yeah.
Thank you for speaking up.
Hey,
It needs to be said.
anything I can do.
Yeah.
Anything I can do.
And now our final rapid fire question. Elvis is your favorite musician. Who's number 2?
That's a good question. Number 2, I feel like number 2 fluctuates a lot, but most consistently, I think my number 2 would be Frank Sinatra. Specifically, I like Frank Sinatra. I like all Frank Sinatra's discography, but I like his stuff from the 40s when he was touring with Tommy Dorsey. That was his voice before he chain smoked and drank like a fish. So his voice is very natural and it's very enchanting, I think. If you've ever seen an old Disney movie, his voice kind of carries the same energy. If you've ever seen The Godfather, the story of Johnny Fontaine, they say it's not Frank Sinatra, but I go on record saying it is. Frank Sinatra basically, through backwards channels, went to Tommy Dorsey and said, I want out of my contract. Tommy Dorsey said no. and Frank Sinatra's mob buddies showed up at Tommy Dorsey's house or his office or something and said, let Frank out of his contract. And he said, no. And they said, either your signature is going to be on that piece of paper or your blood is going to be on that piece of paper.
Mm.
Either way, Frank is not under contract with you anymore. So I think he got bought out for like $100 or something.
Mm.
And Frank Sinatra was making Tommy Dorsey a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
So not only was he forced to let him go, he was forced to let him go for basically chump change.
Yeah. Wonder what's up with the change of heart.
I know, I think it's I think those guys were just very, very convincing, very persuasive.
Yeah.
I think they passed college writing 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
With flying colors.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Very good argument.
Yeah,
Hard to beat.
I'd say so.
Well, that's it for rapid fire questions. Thank you for coming on the podcast,
Thank you
Peter.
for
It's
having
been
me.
wonderful to
Thank
have
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have any last words to our viewers?
No.
Yeah, you don't need to. You don't need to. For sure. For sure. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Owen, do you have any last words?
Thank you for spreading so much knowledge on Elvis.
Yes.
I'm happy to spread knowledge on Elvis.
And everything in between.
If you ever want knowledge on Elvis, come find me before Big Quilt does, and we'll discuss.
And we'll
Yes.
talk.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you for watching episode 15 of the History Club podcast. Please like and subscribe to all of our videos. Like all of our videos. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.